Ote, Ote. Unless people come up in here real quick, well, I'm gonna just let y'all know. Kind of the topic is. It's kind of what the topic is. We're gonna talk about the evolution and how it helped and how it hurt and the things that changed how we communicated with our people, starting with letters. Starting with letters. All right, man. So first off, good morning. Good morning. I hope y'all morning has started off good. Mine started off kind of tumultuous. Had to shake it off a little bit. Grown man shit. CG, I promise you, CG, that's the best thing you could have ever did. I promise you, CG, because I would have thought you was somebody else. So that's what's up. Golly, what is it? It's the thing about it though is when I like I guess it should be a video because you can get away with you can get in a video you can get away with being short and straight and to the point and that's it, that's all. But the thing that I like about live stories is that people can ask questions right then and there, and they can get answers right then and there. So that's why I kind of like the live stories. Thank you for the compliment of the hat, Callie. So this live right here, like I said, we're gonna talk about the evolution of phones inside. It's a little different because before I would have been like, hell no, I ain't talking about this, but shit. The evolution of politics has evolved too. I'm not a criminal. I mean, I'm not a prisoner. I am free. So we got 5 people in here. Need more than that. Need more than that. What's up with that 6 pair? Thank you. Let me get my utensils in order. Oh, you know what? I should have went StreamYard. I should have went StreamYard so I could stream to multiple channels. Anyhow, D-Bo, what's happening, man? Today we gonna have a good one real quick. You know me. Good one real quick. How about them Packers? How about them Packers? Time? Yeah. When you speak, I've never had questions. You're pretty good at being thorough when you speak. Well, thank you. But in reality, there's times when I done had some badass weed, and I even forget what the hell I'm talking about. And then Cali, factor that in when I'm hella random. I'm random as shit. Strawberry and dark chocolate Kit Kat. See, I'm random like that. This story right here, is about my evolution and dealings with cell phones inside. Uncut. You heard me. Uncut. So when I first went inside, like I said, I was 18 years old. I had cell phones on the streets. My very first cell phone was 1995. 1995. There was a spot. It's still there. The building is still there, the Autobahn. But back then, there used to be a cell phone. It used to be a place on Florin Road. It used to be a place that did everything. They hooked up car stereos. They get your rims. They chip your phone. Whatever. They had it booming in that motherfucker. So at 15 years old, I had my first phone, which was a brick. Who remembers the bricks? The one with the little antenna on the top. When you turn it on, it go. Who remember them? So at 15, turning 16, going into the 11th grade at Sac High, this is a conversation about phones. So if you ain't interested, then trust me, I'm about to go on one. So if you ain't got nothing lit or whatever, you ain't drank your coffee, if your intent, just put like this. Just put me in your ears and let me talk. I guarantee you, I'm going to entertain you in this journey. Just put me in your ears and let me talk. Because I'm about to talk for about a good 20, 30 minutes, I think. Anyhow, I hope that ain't too bad. Matter of fact, I know this microphone is sensitive as shit. Can y'all hear me clear? Hello? Can you hear me clear? No, I'm not talking to the Red Bull can. I'm talking to y'all. Can y'all hear me clear? All right. So anyhow, I got my first cell phone chip. I'm bad in the motherfucker because teenagers ain't having cell phones at this time. The only people having cell phones really is ballers. And these is ballers that's out of school. So you barely seeing people with pagers at school at this time. You barely seeing people with pagers at this time. Like pager era in high school started in like 95. So while people was getting pagers, I was on my first phone. So what ended up happening to this phone, first off, it brought a lot of attention for a youngster to have a phone. Can you picture at a time when adults ain't even got cell phones and you see a kid running around with one? My mom warned me because she had never had one, but she warned me, don't take that phone to school. Like literally, don't take it to school. You're going to lose it because I'm going to Sac High. And this is as what we would call op. This is literally in the op neighborhood that I'm going to their high school because my mom got us on 4th Avenue. She know not what she did, but she had us on 4th Avenue. But I'm going to school. I know a lot of the Oak Park dudes because we played for the Vikings together. But that don't mean it's all good. I take my damn phone to school like a dumbass. I'm telling you, like a cold dumbass. You know them big old locks that they got, the big locks with the combination and the key, big old gold brass ones. I'm talking about you need the key and a thing. That's supposed to be state of the art back then. Ain't nobody getting in this motherfucker unless you let them. So this particular time, we want to play softball. I love softball. Y'all hear me? I love softball. So I go out and play softball. I remember I was smacking shit too. Because I'm fresh out of girls' school where we was playing baseball in there too. I'm smacking shit. So next thing you know, I go back to the motherfucking locker. Damn, only 6 of y'all. That shit went down. Watch this though. Bet you go way more than 6. Stay in. Stay loyal, as Nate would say. Next thing you know, I come back into the locker room, Nate, and my locker was open. My locker was open, first of all, and I know my phone was in there. Oh man, if you know that feeling. If you can know that feeling where you just know you've been jacked and it's all bad, like everything sunk. Next thing you know, I had to evaluate exactly why I got jacked. Because I was so much in a rush to play the softball that that I left the key in the lock, set onto the code. Like set onto the code. So all somebody had to do was come up and open it. Pause. I'm going to pause right quick because it said there's 2 people watching. And if that's the case, I need to save this story for later. Who's watching? Because sometimes it be lying. Who's here? I need to do roll call, please. Roll call. Who's here right now? Who's still here? Callie? Trill? Debo? Okay. All right, cool. So my locker is open and it's my fault. I didn't got myself jacked. I might as well bent over. I promise you. I might as well have said, there go Cheeks. Because I left the key in the lock, set on the combination to where all they had to do was open it. And they got everything. The only way I can describe how I felt at that moment was I wanted to kill myself. That's the only way I could describe it. I wanted to kill myself. And at this time in my life, I stayed on. I was living with my mom's boyfriend because I couldn't stay in Oak Park no more. It ended up moving down Franklin, damn near by Cooney. I was so mad, so hurt. I walked all the way from Sac High to Cooney. If y'all know how far that is, I promise you, y'all be like, nigga, you was tripping. But I did that out of just pure disgust and shame for myself. And then I got to face my mom who just told me, I told you. I told you not to take it to school. So the next thing you know, I came back to school the next day. And when they went out to play softball, unfortunately, I went in every locker in that locker room. I'm talking about I stripped, man. I was stripping people out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I sound like a horrible person, but that's the only way that I can make myself feel better. Ooh, I got my crazy eye. I see it right there. That motherfucker doing what it want, huh? Look. See that? I'm looking at you. This eye look dead, huh? Look like a Charleston White, don't it? Don't it look like Charleston White? Anyhow, man, look. The only way I could make myself feel better was to I'm telling you, I was hurt, man. It was so bad. I was in one class. They had these bungalow trailers at Sac High. I promise you, when your phone comes on, when them old ass Motorola's used to come on, they go, when it come on. I heard a Motorola phone come on in another room that was connected next door. So when it was time for the classes to come out, I was waiting for everybody looking at whoever I thought it was, and I figured out who I thought it was. I thought it was Little Man Ass. I thought it was Little Man, right? But I wasn't gonna approach him. Not in his neighborhood. Not with his homies. So I went to the locker room, waited till they went out, and I'm telling you, I figured out with the big lockers, all you gotta do is grab them from the top and yank. Man, I left that locker room with so much shit. I had a backpack on my back, another backpack on this arm, carrying a Nike duffel bag. I'm sorry. But I'm telling you, that's the only way that I could feel better about losing my cell phone. Fast forward. Now they call that shit bipping. They call it bipping. Around a certain point in my teenage years, I was bipping. Like gang banging had already like came and ran its course. Like in my teenage, like I evaluated and realized like gang banging is just a part of growing up. It shouldn't be your whole world. So I figured that. So I took to bipping. So I was coming up on phones. And I had ways to chip them motherfuckers too. Average teenager don't know this shit. So I got these cell phone, and I'm friends with the Asian at school. So I'm partners with Sai Chan to connect. What? So I got phones. But the thing is, I was too far ahead of my time because every time a police would pull us over, they want to play with the phone and try to see if they can figure out the phone number and shit because this was new to them. I can imagine how the police felt when crack cocaine was introduced to them. These rocks, and they're like, "What are these?" When they're used to seeing powder. So I can imagine how them police felt when they were seeing these cell phones, and probably some of these police probably didn't even have a cell phone because this is 95, 96, 97, like really like the beginning of the regularity of cell phones. I promise you, I was riding with JR, rest in peace. They pulled us over around the corner from my house. They found a cell phone. They didn't even care that he had bent the corner, damn near doing the whole donut because he slid on the crosswalk. How the ones that got bars, if you slide on it, if you driving in the rain and you turn that corner on them crosswalks that got the bars all the way across, you're gonna slide. So that's what happened. They pulled us over, found my cell phone, figured out where I lived, went to my house, went in my room because I was on probation, and about 4 or 5 more cell phones and some batteries. So when I went to jail, you best believe, even though they was robberies, they still had a phone charge somewhere on that motherfucker. So when I get to prison, I ain't thinking about calling nobody on no cell phone. That's just hit that like button if you fuck with me. Hit that like button one time because it's 9 of y'all, 16 watching. So I get to the pen, right? And cell phones, you don't even see them. They're operating pagers right now in the pen. Not inmates. I'm talking police and the doctors and shit. The only person got a cell phone, probably gonna be the warden or somebody like that. And this is 98. 99 happens. 2000 happens. And I remember being in the shower with my big cousin. It sounds funny to the average mind what I just said. So let me elaborate. In level 4 pins, in the center section, there's a shower with 2 heads. It has 2 heads on it. The top and the bottom, 2 heads. So it'd be 2 people in there. So I'm in there showering at the same time as my cousin. And we're sitting here brainstorming. We're talking, man. We're talking. I ain't gonna say his name, but we're talking. And we was like, watch phones. That would be interesting. Watch phones, huh? This is only 2000. Next thing you know, it's like if you think it'll come and it manifested. Next thing you know, we seen it was looking in the magazine and seen a watch that was a phone. So all we needed to know is now that this is possible. Watch phones in prison. Wow, that would be very smart. But in my little 20-year-old mind, I'm like, this is crazy. This is not possible. So fast forward. One time, remember, phones on a level 4 prison is it's a myth right now. Like that just don't happen. And we're in like about 2003. And they run up in the goon squad run up in the homie cell at like 4 a.m. And we like, what they do that for? That's so unnormal. Like, why they do that? Rumor was they had a phone. That was just a rumor. This is still like 2004. So 2005 hit. Well, 2004 hit, and I could meet back up with my cousin because they separated us, different yards, meet back up. He told me he had one on the other yard, but never really got to use it. So, bam, that's still 2 failed attempts. So this myth of, first, if you get one in there, second, is it even going to work? Is it going to work? So then next thing you know, I go to a level 3 pen. I go to Solano. And now, coming from a level 4 that didn't have shit, that was still had Bammer weed, when I get to Solano, I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers got fire. Like, they got exotic weed in prison. This is like a lot. Nigga, cat piss? Damn. And it smelled like cat piss? What the fuck? I smoked some shit I had got from a rapper dude that was in. All I knew, it was called NL55. That was the first weed I had ever smoked that made me not like smoking weed. How can I say that? I'm not like smoking weed because I hit that weed and I tapped out. Remember, hey, Nate, we had little sticks. We were smoking sticks. Man, half a stick, I was putting it out like this is just too much. Like this weed right here is too much. NL55. Come to find out later in life, it's called Northern Lights. But at that time, Pooh Man told me it was the strongest shit in this cannabis store. But anyhow, so the homie, he kind of got the yard in Solano. He kind of got the yard. Player homie, swole, short. I ain't gonna say his name. But this particular day, he like, Dirt, you want to rock on the phone? I'm like, a real phone? He was like, yeah, I got you. It's nothing. He slid the phone to me, right? On this day in particular, this is the same day that I was allowed to get the DVD. So I got the DVD player and the cell phone at the same time. I'm about to have a good night with some white lightning and some weed. But the homie kept coming to the damn door. He kept sending people to the door like, hey, you about to send that out? You about to send that out? I didn't, man, I should have sent the phone back to the homie on the yard first and foremost. Because that was drawing attention to my cell. Because the homie Void from Stockton, he the homie, Northside Gangsta Crip. He the homie. Matter of fact, we got into a ride with the Southsiders, and me and him was cellies in the hole. So I was cellies with the Crip in the hole. But he coming to my door with regular wine, sipping because he wanted to know what I was doing over there that I was so secretive about. But really what I was doing is I had the porno going. Shit, I'm in a cell by myself. And I got my TV on a swivel stand. So my TV do this. So I got my TV at an angle he can't see, but I'm very in tune into what's going on this TV. I done came from a level 4. We didn't have this shit. But now I didn't got a DVD player and I got an Iowa TV that got the RCA jack because that was big shit in prison. If you had a TV with the RCA jacks, that was big shit. Because when I first came to the pen, the only jack you had coming out the back of that motherfucker was the regular screw it in the wall. No extra plug into your TV, nothing. And that right there, all I needed was the DVD player and the plugs. And I was home. So can't wait for this day room and shit to be over so people could stop coming to my door. And then my celly would come back in and then I gotta make adjustments. Next thing you know, the light come on. When they turn the light in Solano, they turn the light on, right? Like they can turn your light on from outside the cell. Literally, walk up, look in your cell and see like what you doing. Anybody, not just the police, anybody could toot and turn and see what you got going on in the cell. So that motherfucker came on. I'm talking to, I'm not going to say I was talking to somebody. And when that toot, I peeked around the curtain because I had the curtain. I peeked around the curtain, and it's the police. They like step out. So I try to slide the phone. Down to put it in my pocket, right? I get up and walk to the door like, hey, what you mean step out? And then I looked, I remember I had some heroin sitting on the shelf too. I grabbed the heroin and ate it. Yes, I ate that shit. But luckily, it was what we called a 50 paper back then because, like, say I wanted to make $50, I would have that. Bam, it's already papered up, ready to go. Bam. So I swallowed that right in her face. The door opened. She said, "You're going to potty watch." Now, mind you, I got phone in my pocket. The DVD player is hooked up playing. I just swallowed paraphernalia. She don't know what I swallowed though. She just know I swallowed something and washed it down with tea. Automatically, I'm going to the hole off top. I'm going to the hole. They about to tell me step out and cuff up because I done already did an offense. So at this time, I'm doing great. Tony the Tiger, great. Man, I weighed it out in my mind. I'm like, this the homie phone in my pocket. And he outside waiting for this phone to come back to him. And the homie's DVD player is in the cell. This is about $2,000-$3,000 worth of shit that I can't pay for this shit. They was just messing with me out of love. Like, they fuck with Young Dirt. So it just so happened that the homie let me use his shit this day, and the OG homie Baye let me use the DVD thing, and it ain't even the homie Baye's. It belonged to the Asian Mafia. I don't know. It was Mr. Yee, Lee Yee, one of them, but it's his, and he let him rock with it, and he let me rock with it. So I'm about to really be fucked up if I just go out like a little old batch and step out the cell and let them cuff me and take me. I'm not going out like that. So when she opened the door, I stepped out. I got against the wall, and somebody yelled something and distracted her for like 2 seconds. Bam! I'm running across the day room. She's chasing behind me. She talking about, what are you running for? Hella calm though. It was like a damn movie because I was running hard. And she was like trotting behind me talking about, what are you running for? What are you running for? I'm like, hey, what are you chasing me for? I run to the other side. I run up the stairs. I try to slide the phone under one door. It didn't go. So then I tried to slide the phone under. I slid the phone under the door. It was 2 white dudes in the cell. That's why when people talk about shit like that, hey man, in the heat of the moment, you don't know what the hell you doing because they shooting at me with the block gun. They done shot at me with the block gun twice. So as I'm running in this high speed chase in this day room, they getting off. Boom, boom, because they don't know if I might got a knife. They don't know what I'm running capable of. So they shoot. Boom, boom. I guess in that time of me running upstairs, they had to reload. Because I slid that motherfucker under them 2 white boys' cell. And they look when they ran up, I proned out right there. When the police ran up, one came from this way, one came from this way. They sprayed the shit out my dog ass. I had dreadlocks too. Man, that shit soaked my dreadlocks up so bad. But one sprayed me this way, bang, and the other hit me from the back, bang. Like I said, so I proned out in front of these white boys' cell. Through the midst of all this pain that I'm in, The door for these white boys' cells didn't open, and these white boys is scared as shit. They don't know what's going on. It's like I didn't introduce them the hell out of nothing. They sitting back watching Beverly Hills 90210 or some shit. And next thing you know, a phone slide under their door, and they hearing gunshots outside the cell. And then the door opened, and you see my ass sprayed up outside the cell. I'm pretty sure I traumatized their ass. So next thing you know, that's when they take me to the hole. As they walking me to the hole, right? The homie that wanted to sit the homie that let me use his cell phone, I can't see him. I can't see him because I'm pepper sprayed up, but I can hear him. So I'm walking, I'm hearing him. Dirt, what's up, man? What happened? I'm like, it's all bad because I can't see you. Shit, all I can do is talk. It's all bad, man. Looky here. They charged me with a staff assault. They charged me with a staff assault on her. That she really said that I bursted out the cell and gave her a stiff arm. She said I came out that motherfucker, boom, out of my way and took off running. Long story short, I ended up beating that. So when I come back to Solano, after doing my time in the hole, when I come back to the Solano, I promise you, nothing could prepare me for what I had seen or what I was about to experience. Nothing. All I could do is point out certain shit I seen. But all the young homies walking in a pack, it was about 10 of us. When I say young homies, I'm talking about all the young bloods and non-affiliates from Sacramento under the age of like 30. Are mixed in, so there was a couple of OGs with the young homies, but for the most part, we all stuck together. And I remember walking around the track saying that, damn, every last one of the homies right here got a cell phone. Like every last one of us, like when we go back to the cell, I can call any of the homies right now, any of them. Man, they was giving you phones. So I wasn't prepared for this in my evolution of cell phones. If y'all want me to stop, I'll stop. If I keep going, I'll keep going. No, I'm going to keep going because I'm on one right now. So y'all just going to have to watch me. So then Solano, boom, they take me and they kick me out of Solano. I'm thinking Solano is there's no place like that, right? Then I get to Old Folsom. This is headquarters, right? Now the evolution of cell phones and Old Folsom went like this. When I first got there probably was people that had them, but I didn't know. I wasn't in the swing of things. I didn't have money to even buy one if I did. The next thing you know, bang! I remember sitting down with Beef, like, look, bro, it's cell phones in this motherfucker, and if it's only take money to get them, we gonna get them. And next thing you know, shit, I leveled up. I came back to the cell, was like, look, bro, bam, we on. Next thing you know, shit, that began a whole different era in prison because now it's normal to have phones and things. So what happens when you get to another level? Then the next level becomes trial and error. You start to make mistakes. That's what's fucked up. People get these phones and they don't understand about the mistakes that they're about to encounter. So when I got this phone, first thing you think, phone, get a bitch. Phone, get a bitch. Because these bills got to be paid. This phone bill got to get a bitch. So therefore, we make mistakes, bro. And I'm going to tell you, one of the first ones I made was, oh, man. The party line. The chat line. Just listen to this shit. Connections. Love line. Quest. Misty. Lava line. international phone chat, hot talk, get free 10 minutes at a chat, red hot, vibe line. These is all numbers that I got out the back of magazines that offer free party line, chat line minutes to try to meet a female. In that desperation is where these mistakes happen. And one of the most comical ones ever. I'm talking on a chat line, and it was a female that said she worked for the prison that I was in, Old Folsom. She was like, I work in administration. I'm like, ooh. But some in me, my desperation make me keep going and talking to her. She was, oh yeah, I'm gonna come through. You gonna let me see it? Playing with me though. I'm not knowing. I'm thinking I'm a Mac at this time. I don't know. Cell phones and being comfortable with women is two different things. Like when you don't know how to talk to a woman because you've been locked up since you was a kid, you got to work these things out, trial and error. So I'm talking to her, and now she just playing me like a fiddle. I'm telling you, I'm biting into everything. But something in my chest got it felt like my stomach is tightening up. Like something didn't feel right. So I call her right before count time. Like count time is when it's time to, do what we do. Count time. And then secure the bag. So I talked to her, and when we hung up, I told my celly, like, bro, something don't feel right. So I did what I would have did to the best of my ability, which is secure my bag wherever we were supposed to go. And then I was laying down. I felt comfortable, but was safe. But I wasn't inside. I didn't feel safe. Next thing you know, bam, they pop the lock, take us out. They take me in the cage. They put Chief in the cage. They hit the other Dirt too. The other Killer Dirt, they hit his cell too. Because all she knew was my nickname. And then finally they called me to the office. They was like, yeah, we heard you had a conversation with one of the Goon Squad officers on the phone. Yeah, you thought you was getting at somebody. You was talking straight to the Goon Squad. Thought I was about to she offered to bring me some tobacco. Mm-hmm. I'm ready to play baseball with this guy. Matter of fact, hey, Billy, get your baseball bat. Get ready to start swinging. So I consider that a crucial mistake because I wanted a woman that bad. I'm telling you, I met a girl that was in Alabama. I mind you, I'm like 23. She like 21. She really was selling. She gassed me up. I believe I was so gullible. She had me believing that she had caught an airplane from Alabama to Sacramento, right? I'm talking to her on the phone. She's like, I got you. I'm bringing you some money. I'm putting money. I got you. I'm biting into this shit so much that I really had believed that she had caught a plane to Sacramento, caught a something to the front of Folsom Prison. And I'm telling you, I really believed that she was coming to see me. I was in the mirror shaving. I was like, damn. I was telling myself, like, she really here. I'm coming and like she really here coming to see me from Alabama. And then shit started clicking. I'm shaving. And shit started clicking. I'm like, I didn't ask no questions. So let me ask a question. I hit her back. I'm like, you in front of the prison. What do it look like? She was like, it looked like a gate, Daddy. It looked like a gate. I'm like, for real? Now it's starting to click. Oh, shit. A gate? It's a wall. It ain't no damn gate. I asked a couple of more questions. She hung up. She was lying the whole damn time. And I was gullible. See, these are the mistakes that come along with a cell phone inside. Then another time, the homie, y'all probably already seen this story, but when the homie threw the phone in the cell with me, because I stayed in at dinner time, and the homie gonna come and throw the motherfucking phone in, like, hey, fix this for me. Not telling me that he the last person on the tier, and that it's a sergeant at the end of the tier waiting for him to come. He didn't tell me none of that. And this sergeant didn't have it out for me. I promise you. And my back was to the door. He threw this phone in. I'm looking at it, trying to figure out what the hell he talking about fixing. And next to you know, I see the shadow. Like how y'all see the sun behind me? Just picture if the whole sun. And so when the light blocked out, up and looked over my shoulder, and it was a Sergeant Wright. And he was like, Dirt, the fuck is you doing? He said, is that a phone? He said, is that a phone? Man, at that moment, right, I had to make some crucial decisions on what I was going to do at this moment. I'm telling you, like I was caught red dog ass handed. Man, look, all I could do, I stood up, I said, hey, check this out, right? This ain't my phone, and I ain't got the money to pay for it. I promise you, this would be like $500, and I ain't got it, right? Do not put me in this situation. I promise you, I ain't tripping. I ain't about to run because I'm not flushing this phone because this is not my phone. So do not put me in that situation, right? I promise you. Like, man, just leave me alone. Leave me alone. He was like, Dirt. He's like, today's your lucky day. He said, but when I come back, that motherfucker better not be in there. Whoo! When that homie came back, oh, it was bad. Like when he came back, it was bad. Like man, like that homie's whole career went down. Like it went down. Next thing you know, so I have a bunch of old little trials and tribulations with cell phones there. So then this one thing happened in particular. My introduction to smartphones, because before then we just had 3Gs. Now we didn't got smartphones. This is like 2010, and you hear, I'm talking about the smartphone when it came on back when that motherfucker drain. Like when who remember them? Who remember when the smartphones, the Androids came on and said drain? Who remember that? Black from Cooneyville. Yeah, of course. Rest in peace. Anyhow, so I got one. I didn't buy it. I was holding it for my cousin, which, I appreciate it, but I didn't know how to use it as I should. And then I had one of these. So I got two phones. I'm doing by myself. I got no problems. I got a tuck spot. I'm good. And then when I get a celly, he wanted to be pimpadocious and have problems with females that like to call inside and tell on people. I promise you, they kicked in my door repeatedly. When I say kicked in my door, that's when they come searching, trying to catch you slipping repeatedly. But they didn't know my tuck spot, and my tuck spot was oh so simple. It was right in their face. I used to have a rain jacket. This was my spot. I used to have a rain jacket hanging outside the cell, and I would put the phones in the pocket. So from inside the cell, I could reach out and just boot, and they come in there, tear that motherfucker up. Then when they close the door, they leave because that's a rain jacket. And then if you pour a little water on it, it's even better, or make it look filthy. So that was my thing, and I was beating their ass. Then finally they came, got me going to dinner and went in that thing, locked me off the tier so I could only watch. And I was confident they wasn't gonna find it. Next thing you know, boop, they just happened to reach in the pockets of the rain jacket. Bam, busted. 2 phones at one time. 2 phones at one time. Bam. So I'm done. They send my ass to Calipat now because 1 phone is 1 phone, but 2 phones, that's too many damn points. So now I'm back level 4, and they send me to Calipat. Now having a phone in the prison is a way of life now. This has become normal from this process of 2005 to 2010. This is normal now. Pause. Hold on. I thought she was gonna say for you know the homie Black from Cooneyville. Yes, you know my brother Ramon G from Fruit Ridge Vista. Ramon G, because Mondo. Yeah, I know Mondo. I think I might know Ramon too, but I know Mondo for sure, for sure. I can tell you a story about Mondo. He's in county jail and punched. Mondo solid as fuck. Anyhow, just ask me. So I get to Calipat, right? I got a booty full of tobacco, and I'm trying to figure out how to get on because in order to do what you got to do in the pen, you got to be able to you got to be able to push lines, and that don't just involve a phone. I mean, a phone on the wall. It don't involve a letter for show, and it can't involve the dependency of other people. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So you gotta get on. I had a booty full of tobacco and got on and made it happen on Fish Road. If anybody know what orientation road, that's Fish Road. That's when you knew. So for me to get a phone on Fish Road was phenomenal. I ain't even have my property yet, and I had a phone in that bitch. Salute to that. But the funny part was that a riot had just happened where somebody got killed and they coming around searching the whole prison. And our yard is next. And I ain't even been outside. So how the fuck I'm gonna hide this phone? I ain't even got no property. I just got some cosmetics and shit that I done hustled up from the building with these little mini ass fry holes. So that was when we decided I don't want to go too deep into it because somebody might still use this tuck spot maybe one day. But all I'm gonna say is that inside this box of cosmetics, I was able to split something and hollow it, but that wasn't it. Because people been trying to hide phones and soaps for years. If you do that shit now, you're stupid. This is from 2010, so this 2012. So you better not. I hope this movie is so old. But anyhow, man, when they seen them pubic hairs, them fresh pubic hairs, freshly plucked, swimming on this ooey gooey bar of soap, you think they gonna touch that? Is you gonna touch it? You gonna touch that ooey gooey bar of soap with pubic hairs? Hell no, somebody done washed they nuts with that soap. I ain't touching it, and neither is the police. So that's how I beat them, coming fresh off of orientation. Remember, this is the evolution of cell phones, I said. So then here's where it gets jiggy. So when I get my points back down to level 3, they send me to Vacaville. The only way to get out of Calipat is it to say that you triple CMS. Like I need to talk to a psychologist because it is too motherfucking hot here. It is 120. Like man, look, have you ever turned on the news and looked at the weather and the degrees that it said it's going to be is 125 forever? Like literally, it looked like 125 degrees forever in Calipat. That's how hot it was. So eventually, motherfucker from up north in Northern California, like especially Sacramento and even the surrounding areas, we not used to no shit like that. We're not used to no desert. So they got a few backup plans to get up out of Calipat. And yes, I'm hot, and my points are now level 3 points. I do not want to do an extra 6 months and wait till my next committee. Because if I go triple CMS, y'all motherfuckers about to bring me to committee, and my points you're gonna have hold a biannual in 6 months. So y'all gonna have to move me. Bam, dirty back up north in Vacaville. We on. After being in the bumfuck Egypt, where I was the only sack nigga on the yard. It might have been one or two, but we was short. We was having to function with blood in them. We was having to function with blood in them from LA. So anyhow, so now I'm in VAC now. When I first get to VAC, right, they had me on fish roll. I didn't have no property or nothing. They got 3 tiers. So I can hear when people come out they cells because the homies is coming up talking to me. Like the homies, they know me. I've been down for a while. They know Young Thirst, so they coming up. You know, they might slide me their clippers and shit that act funny and shit. Or because they see me with some busted. I had bubble gums. Like I had bubble gums, the shoes with the strap. I had some of them. My face wasn't, man, I'm telling you, they was judging me by my book because these dudes, I didn't know what they had going on. And then they let us down to the day room. Like they would exit them, put them in the cell, and give us our little hour in the day room. We used to come in like, damn, this motherfucker smell like cigarettes, weed, like a party just happened. Like the ghost that was here is gone now, but damn. Then we would find little roaches and shit. But we on fish roll, so we don't know what's going on. We not feeling it. We coming from war zones. I just came from Calipat. It's other people up here. So when we finally get down there, they say, Dirt, hey man, look who made it off of fish roll. They came, put their arm around me, welcomed me to the homies. First thing I seen is it's like 10 dudes here with cell phones sitting back comfortably in the day room, texting, chatting, watching. I'm like, wow! Like nothing I had been, none of this cell phone shit prior to now could have prepared me for this shit here. I was like, this is too much. Just y'all in a day room with it, and then and it's the bathroom to blow trees. They smoking the cigarettes in the open, like it ain't shit. Like the cigarettes is freely flowing, like they got tobacco on the canteen. And then there's the bathroom got a window. Oh my god! Like the bathroom had a window to outside. So literally, like if somebody was in the bathroom blowing that motherfucker up, like they could just open the window and let that shit air out. Or you could smoke in that motherfucker and blow it out the window. So this was a lot. This was a lot. So all I could say is in the evolution of that, I was like, you know what? It's time to revisit this watch phone thing. It's time to revisit it. And this is before Apple. This is before the Apple Watches. This is 2010. This is before watches was even like regular, but I knew that they existed because of back in 2000 in the shower with my cousin. I knew they existed. So I explored it. And at that time, I realized, shit, if you want a watch phone at this time, because the technology hadn't quite made it to the United States, you got to order this shit from China. You got to order this shit from China. So next thing you know, I had it done. And the watch came. But the first watch was a true mistake. I promise you. Remember, we talking about mistakes in the evolution of cell phones in prison. This right here was a true. I ain't gonna tell you how I got it in because that probably is still good. But the I got was bulky as fuck and silver and looked like it was platinum, but it was probably platinum. Like it was abnormally big. And I remember telling the Asian homie, Lalo, hey, Lalo, put this on and go and wear this to the poker game. And then so I could kick back and see how they react to it. Man, look, he went to that poker game and they was like, he pulled his sleeve up, boop. They was like, damn, that motherfucker better have a photo. So that motherfucker fat. That motherfucker tight as fuck. But it was just too plain big. So I wore it to the kitchen thinking I was gonna sell it. Gave it to Laylo to wear it back to the unit. And they tackled his ass. They dove on Laylo dog ass and got the other phone that I had that he was holding. So Laylo took 2 phones from me. Shout out Laylo wherever he may be. Kurt, Antoine. So next thing you know, so now the word is out. They know about these watch phones. Like I didn't introduce a new theory to prison. Like ain't nobody ever thought about watch phones, and I didn't fucked Vacaville up. Like the police, the inmates, I didn't fuck them up because they like somebody down there got caught with a watch phone, and everybody else was like, it does exist. But this was me thinking ahead. So then that after fucking up on that one because it was too big, I'm like, it's got to be some other different kinds. It got to be some other different kinds that look more like watches. Bam, I get the right one. It looks just like a watch, but it also looked like a stopwatch. So I used to take the strings of like I used to take sock strings. I used to want it to look raggedy as fuck because it looked like a Coach stopwatch thingy thing. So I would have it on my neck, be pushing the yard, all the shit. It's on my page. Y'all see them yard pictures. Yeah, thinking ahead. But what I didn't pay attention to was the envy that it was drawing, thinking that far ahead. So remember the time when I said, man, I had to unfriend every nigga in this pen. I had to unfriend everybody that said they was my friend. And I made my friend a dropout northerner named I ain't even gonna say his name. I'm not gonna say his name. But a dropout northerner / Uso from Frisco. I made him my friend. And me and him and somebody else, I made sure we all had watch phones and was ahead of the game. Because the significance with watch phones is that, I mean, they were small. Shit, you do what you needed to do. Do what you needed to do. So then what ended up happening is I got kicked out of that pen. And now I'm short to the house. I got like a year and a half to the house. So this time I got to be smart. I got to be smart about it. So that's when I decided it was in my best interest to start renting phones, do my time. I mean, use it, whatever, and then send it. That was when I got smart and realized that was the best way. Because if somebody else is going to take the risk of hiding this motherfucker, then that just means you should maximize the time. This is game, or even if y'all in there still, this is how it's supposed to be. If somebody else is going to take the risk of hiding this motherfucker, then as long as you get an hour, you should be able, the way that the world works out here, people be like, boom, bang, business, boom, bang, boom, bam. Is the way the world work out here, you should be able to do everything you need to do in that hour. And that's the way to move. Then we come home. The evolution of cell phones. I keep going. This shit is crazy. I keep going. Because when I first came home, it was iPhone 4. No, iPhone 3. When I first came home, that little bitty ass iPhone 3 and the 4, they was dead in the same size, I think. There's some people still running around with them other little bitty motherfuckers too. There's some people that'll swear by them iPhone 3 and 4s, them little bitty chrome looking ones. There's some people swear by them. All right. How long did? Oh shit! I did that. I said I was gonna take y'all on my evolution with cell phones. I promise you, I said I was gonna do that. Bam, and we at that hour mark. All right, so I'm about to go back and answer some questions, and then I'm up out of here. All right. In 95, I was still spelling words out with numbers on pagers. In 95, oh yeah, 95 was the Bravo Express, the Ultra Flex, and the Ultra Flex Express. MC, blunts cause eye twitch. He said hella people took the long walk home. And by the way, what's happening? Matt 510, Moonbeam, Songbird, Smack, Socks Life, what's going on with you? Antoine, what's bracking? Let's see. Antoine, where you? I thought you was gonna say you fell for the homie. Nah. You know the homie Black from Cooney. Yes, I told no Black. But I went to Hiram Johnson. I went to Burbank. Like in 93. Yep. I know a lot of them. Yep. In that case, you probably do know. I'm from Valio Franklin. Oh, okay. For rich homies. Wait, that's Franklin, right? Weasel, my boy. Which Weasel? And Dreamer. I would pick a me and Weez. So Antoine. So that means you know Night Owl. Who was my other one? Creeper. No, Reaper or Creeper. And Night Owl. Them was my partners. I don't know what's happening with them now, but Night Owl and Reaper. I know I gotta erase this shit. Chapo from Valeo Franklin. Boy, man, Master, I was him yesterday. He just got out. That's what I'm saying. Motherfuckers are fucked up there without disrespectful music. Damn, bro. No real name, great. Damn. Hey, y'all crazy. Hey, but check this out though. Knowing that we all from Sacramento, and it's only 6 degrees of separation for real. Like we ain't far from each other. That's why everybody from Sacramento that you be seeing on this YouTube, that's why it be that's why it's a certain code of conduct because how small this little fishbowl city is. When you get to a certain age, like this fishbowl of a city is very small. And you're expected to conduct yourself in a certain way if you've made it through all the eras to be here thus far. I guess the cat out the bag, original for his Vista Bounty Hunter Blood. What's the 602 write up? All right, I got you. Boy, triple the world on enough. Farm cast in his city. Hey, first off, Billy, just because you went and Google how big my city was, see, you're thinking geographical. I'm not thinking geographical. I'm thinking connections. My family, your family, his mama, your mama, his cousins, his high school, his football team. I'm thinking connection wise. When you get to a certain level in Sacramento, you should be about one person from damn near everybody that you need to meet in your life. If they're in Sacramento. My old neighbor was from DPA's Blood, and his brother was at DPA's Nogales crib. And that's not abnormal at all. That is not abnormal at all. All right, so Adrian said, Dirt, what's a 602 write-up? A 602 write-up is what you, like they give you a Bible to defend yourself when you come inside. And because they gave you, in your orientation packet, they give you a cup, a spoon, your bedroll, your towel, your boxers and shit, and a book called the Title 15. And in this Title 15, this is your Bible to protect yourself against anything that you feel is a violation of your rights. And here's the tools to aid you in your fight. A lot of people, it surprises me, a lot of people never come to the pen and they never read the Title 15. I promise you, it took me 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001. It took for 2001, he was like 30. I was like 21 or something. I promise you, while we was sellies in the hole, he made me read the Title 15. And that was the best thing that could have ever happened in my prison evolution because he taught me how to defend myself. So the Title 15 is to be used in conjunction with the 602. Like, say y'all tired of this alligator back catfish that they keep giving us like every other week or something, because that's a day we know we're gonna be starving. So we want to do a class action 602 because they got regular ones too, but class action. So I get together, I get all the homies, we sick of this shit, and then we all sign this 602. We signed this 602. It's a sheet of paper. Bam, stump it. But we use the things from the Title 15, the codes and the conducts or the violations, and we cite the motherfuckers by A, B, code, penal code through CBF, with all that shit, and cite that all in this Title 15. I'm all in this 602 to defend ourselves. We turn that in, and then there's a level of 602. So when you start at the entry level, the entry level might be like, that's some bullshit. Fuck that. Eat that gator back. So then the next level, they're going to be like, yeah, you got a good point. I'm going to consider this partially granted. So we're going to send you to the next level, which is like the corporate level. And then next thing you know, that's when that's the big guns. Because once you get there, if they don't grant your 602, then you got to start over and find a whole nother ground. But if you are fluent with that Title 15, man, look, you look for problems. You look for problems. Well, if you know that Title 15, and I knew that motherfucker, man, I didn't beat some shit. All right, what else questions? Adrian, I hope that answers your question. Hey, Antoine, I lived in Cooney in 93. I lived in Cooney in 93, and then 95, 96, 97. I stayed on Turnbridge. We off to the BS. Now let's help the fucked up one behind us. The second biggest city here in Ireland. Crazy story. Large city is 3 or 4 million in America. 500 city where everybody's no invite. We conduct each other. I want to say that we got way more than this. If you're going off a population, Sacramento, we got down there 1 million, if not more. I want to say we got more than 1 million. So 500,000 that's hella small. Shit. Stockton got more than 500,000. Shit, now you got me guessing. Hold on. Oh, shit. Monties. All right. Well, let's see. 23 watching. All right. I wanted to answer more questions about because I hope y'all don't feel like I just took y'all on a cell phone rant and didn't get closure on what my thing was about. So I was hoping that y'all would answer questions about that story. In particular, these fucking chat line, party line numbers that I wrote down in the quest of what I was looking for. Like, this is a real shit. Sometimes I know when I be digging in my vault, sometimes people feel like, damn, I'm I feel like I'm hearing something that I shouldn't be hearing. Like these is like personal. It's like personal. But for some people, it should be a reality check. It should be, oh, ooh, your name. But I promise you, in the midst of this going through with these damn numbers, I had a midget. Oh man. Anyhow, man, I've been on here. I ran it long enough. I thank y'all for coming on. The next live I do a little later will be probably be StreamYard. Probably StreamYard, so it'll be interactive. So I hope y'all enjoyed spending this hour with me. I appreciate y'all. Dirty. Go.